What if I told you that the most dangerous magic isn't the kind that's obviously evil, but the kind that convinces you it's good? For thousands of years, the earliest sources were crystal clear. Golems weren't just dangerous, they were completely evil. No exceptions, no loopholes. The energy itself would consume anyone who touched it. But then something changed. Suddenly, these same forbidden practices became acceptable, defensive, necessary. The story shifted from "this will corrupt you" to "this will protect you." Same practice, different marketing. This isn't unique to golems. Throughout history, forbidden practices get rebranded when people need them. Magic becomes divine intervention. Sorcery becomes a spiritual protection. The technique stays the same, only the justification changes. Here's what they don't want you to understand. Magic is fundamentally about finding loopholes, shortcuts around natural law, ways to bypass normal limitations. And once your mind starts looking for loopholes in one area, it starts looking everywhere. But one tradition never fell for this trick. Islam kept magic as a deadly sin. No exceptions, no reforms. Instead of trying to make forbidden practices good, they provided divine protection through prayer. And here's the shocking part. Even modern practitioners admit it works. Whether magic is real or not, doesn't matter. The psychological effect is the same. When you engage with practices designed to bypass normal rules, you train your mind to seek shortcuts around all boundaries, including moral ones. Some groups took this logic to its ultimate conclusion. The Sabbateans argued that committing evil acts would actually accelerate divine redemption. They turned morality completely upside down, claiming sin itself was holy. The same pattern shows up everywhere today. Surveillance becomes safety. Propaganda becomes education. Psychological manipulation becomes nudging for good. The technique doesn't change, just the story we tell ourselves about why it's okay. The safest path isn't finding clever ways around forbidden practices. It's respecting why they were forbidden in the first place. Because once you start making exceptions, where do you stop? The next time someone tells you a forbidden practice is acceptable because their intentions are good, remember the golems. Remember that the road to corruption is paved with good intentions. While other traditions fell into the trap of fighting fire with fire, Islam took a radically different approach. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught a fundamental principle. Never fight evil with evil because that makes you part of the evil. Always fight evil with something better. Instead of creating protective magic or reformed rituals, Allah revealed two specific surahs, Al-Falaq and An-Nas, known as Al-Muawwidhatayn, the two seeking refuge chapters. These weren't counterspells, they were direct appeals to the creator of all existence. Surah Al-Falaq seeks protection from four specific types of evil: the evil of all creation, the darkness when it settles, those who practice harmful magic by blowing on knots, and the evil of the envious when they envy. Notice, it doesn't fight magic with magic. It appeals directly to the one who created the magicians themselves. Surah An-Nas provides protection from the whispers of evil, both from jinn and humans who plant destructive thoughts in hearts and minds. It establishes a psychological fortress by constantly remembering that Allah is the King, the God, the Lord of mankind. When your mind is focused on divine sovereignty, there's no room for fear of lesser powers. Here's what's brilliant about this approach. It doesn't just protect against magical attacks. It immunizes the mind against the entire worldview that makes magic appealing. When you truly believe Allah controls all outcomes, you don't seek shortcuts through forbidden practices. When you trust divine timing, you don't try to manipulate circumstances. The protection isn't just external, it's internal transformation. The effectiveness speaks for itself. Even contemporary practitioners of dark arts acknowledge that devout Muslims who regularly recite these surahs are largely immune to their influence. Not because of counter magic, but because their entire psychological framework rejects the premise that human manipulation can override divine will. This reveals a universal truth. The strongest protection against corruption isn't fighting it on its own terms, but maintaining such strong connection to goodness that evil finds no foothold. Don't fight darkness with more darkness. Turn on the light.